Hello, everybody, and welcome to Vibing Out with Texony. I'm your host, Texony, aka Mr. WorldVibe, and what we have here is a community to give local voices a public platform of shared ideas, knowledge, and perspectives. So, welcome to the postseason. We are here, and what we do in the postseason specifically is review season 2, right? We're going to review the Thursday Thoughts. So this is a best of series, and we're going to go over and highlight some of my favorite parts of these Thursday Thoughts series. So join me here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. On Patreon, you guys are going to get to see this video first. And if you're not a patron, you're going to get to see this. It's going to be released a little bit later onto YouTube, but the audio is out for everybody as of today. So thank you for being here. I just want to say that first of all, because it's been a crazy few months. I just give you a little update on me. I've been finishing my overtime at work, so I've been slowly but surely moving into the podcast a little bit more. It's been tough. It has been tough because I'm just shifting from being at work, like overtime. I talked about that in my previous episode when I introduced the postseason, when I talked about giving yourself a break. I kind of alluded to how I'm trying to balance out my time. I want to make time for this podcast, and I'm trying to more and more. So it's been a while since I dropped an episode, but now that we're here, we're going to be doing the best of all the series, the Thursday Thoughts, the Feature Fridays, the Topic Tuesdays, Music Mondays, and Psych Saturdays. So we're going to do a best of for all the series. I want to start with the Thursday Thoughts because this one means a lot to me. The Thursday Thoughts was a series where I kind of go into myself, my life, my feelings, my personal experiences, and things going on with myself, so y'all can learn about me. So that's what you're going to hear in this episode today. Some clips, some highlights, and I want to kind of introduce each episode, each clip, before you watch or listen to it. So we're going to be doing that. First of all, I got to say thank you for being here. As my mentor, Marquette Devon Burton says, show love to those who show love to you. So if you're watching, if you're enjoying, if you're watching on YouTube, give this video a like, a comment, subscribe, share this video with anybody and anybody that you think will be interested or will learn something from this video. So I appreciate you for watching, for sharing. And if you want to, support even more, join the Patreon, y'all. That's where you're going to get video access of this episode early. And I'm dropping a new series, okay? I'll tell you guys now, I'm dropping a new series, Patreon only. It's kind of like vlogs, so I'm going to be getting a little bit more personal into my life, but I'm going to show video-wise, so you're going to get to see my life a little bit more intimately, so that's on the Patreon. So check the link in the description of this episode. Join the Patreon. It's so cheap, guys. It's literally $2. That's it. And you'd be supporting the community so much. Like for season 3, when it comes, I'm going to need more patrons. So I'm going to need more support on there before we can even enter season 3, because it's such a big investment we're going to be making for having a studio, for going back to full video podcasts with guests and all of that. So I'm going to really need your guys' support. So show love to those who show love to you, whether you're going to show free love by liking, subscribing, and watching that way, or give a little bit more and just join the Patreon, y'all. That's all I ask. And for everybody who's on there, for everybody who's been on there, who's supported, who's joined and left, or still on the Patreon, I appreciate y'all so much. You guys are the drivers of this podcast. So I just want to say shout out to y'all. First time, I just have to say it right when we start. Shout out to everybody on the Patreon, and to everybody watching and listening. Y'all get a shout out too, so thank you. So let's start with the Thursday Thoughts here. I think I did 6 episodes, 6 different series in this, episodes in this Thursday Thoughts series. The first one was called Reflect and Project. So I kind of talked about what my 2020 was like and what 2021 would be like. So I kind of took a moment to reflect, and that's so important. Like, we don't have that kind of time in reality in the world that we live in. Reflecting is not something that is promoted as much as just keep going with the flow. So it meant a lot to me to have that opportunity to reflect with you guys. So I want to show you a clip there. This dropped December 31st, 2020. So it was the last day of 2020, and I got a moment to look back. Because, we do the whole, New Year's resolution. So I kind of talked about everything in the past and everything going forward at that moment. So I hope you enjoy that little clip. I'll see you at the end of it. With this podcast, there's been one lesson I've learned that I would say is the thing I've learned the most. And I've kind of alluded to it in the beginning of the episode that, consistency and hard work never, ever don't pay off, if that makes sense. They always pay off. I mean, when you put in work, it shows. It might take time. It might take a lot of effort. You might not see it right away, but it always pays off. And I'm seeing that now when people tell me, hey, Tex, I see your consistency. I see your hard work. I could look at myself and I feel like I could be working harder. I feel like I'm hard on myself. But when people tell me, you've been working so hard, I see your progress, that kind of makes me feel like, okay, maybe I'm just being tough on myself. Maybe I have been working hard, I guess, right? So it does pay off. I'm 62 episodes in. I've met so many people. I've connected so many people with each other. And like I said, I'm making a book. I've never even thought I'd be an author in my whole life, but now all of a sudden I'm doing that. Like, I feel like I've come a long way. So that's kind of one lesson I learned, is the consistency is always, always, always important. And then lastly, with COVID, I feel like we all learn lessons through what COVID taught us specifically. And, for me, one of the most important things is just really to appreciate the moments, the little moments in life, spending time with people, going out, things that we can't do as much because of COVID. Man, I know I'm going to appreciate it so much more when I actually get to go out and be in public and see my friends and go out to like a bar. And I never even used to like clubs, but I feel like I'm going to love going to the club just one time, just to experience it. I feel like Mask Off is going to be like the biggest song ever. Like when that song plays in the club, I feel like it'll just hit different. You know what I mean? And then, this is kind of like what I'm doing here with the podcast. It's kind of like an entrepreneur thing for me. It's kind of like a business. It's kind of like a online venture. And so I learned that being an entrepreneur is really, really crucial for people in our demographic, in our time. I think making money online and finding something that you love to do. Most important thing is taking your passion and putting it where you can monetize it. That's the way to go. That's the way to go. Okay, because we look at jobs and a lot of people lost their jobs. But if you work for yourself, you'll never get fired unless you give up, right? So I mean, if you love what you do, turn it into something where you can make money from it, and you'll never quit. You'll never quit if you love what you do, and you'll always be motivated and inspired to work. So that's one of the things I've been so lucky that I started before the pandemic, and I've been able to continue to do. Now that we've reflected, now that I've finally got this off my chest, I've been really excited to, reflect. Let's project. Okay, let's go into the future. Let's move into the future together. I'm really excited. I think 2021 can be a really, really great year for us. And I also think it can be a bad year if you don't work towards your goals, if you don't set intentions, if you don't have the right mindset. Then I think we can go one of two ways. If anyone knows Aaron Doughty, he's like kind of a new age spiritual mentor and just coach and just online public figure who talks a lot about these kinds of things. And he had a video on IGTV where he talked about how, life is kind of splitting into two realities. That's what 2021 is going to be a lot of. It's kind of like train tracks. It's kind of like people on two different train tracks. There's one set of people who are very afraid, very fearful, very stuck in this world and all the negatives. Everything that happened in 2020, they're going to keep going that way, right? They're going to just keep going in 2021 the same way. And then on the other side of the train tracks, there's the people who are going to work hard, who are going to try to just grow and learn. And they're train tracks because they're side by side, they're close, but they kind of spread out as you go. So there's a splitting of realities that I really truly think will happen in 2021. So let's project consciously, let's project with effort so that we go the way we want to go in 2021 and not the way that life kind of feels like it's making us go, this off pathway. You know what I mean? So this next episode is called My Relationship with Cannabis. And that was a huge episode for me personally. I didn't know if I'd get to make that episode because I felt like I had to come full circle on the spectrum. I started out, obviously not using it when I was young. Started using it more heavily. Then I was like full-blown dependent. Then I used it a little bit less as I kind of got more clarity in life, less. And then in the episode you're going to hear, I talked about how I'm kind of a non-user maybe on occasions. But the update today is I'm completely no more for me. I don't want to ever do it again if I can help it. I've came complete full circle with it. So I'm just so proud of myself for making that episode. And a lot of people got a chance to reflect on their own cannabis usage through listening to my experience. So I really hope you enjoy that clip. Watch the full episode as well. This one came out on my birthday on February 11th, 2020. So it meant a lot to me to drop it on that day as well. So enjoy that one. I'll see you in the next one. So when you look at the pros versus cons, it's pros 3, cons 4. So it's pretty close. I mean, it's not much worse than it is great for myself. I would justify as not really needing it for myself, but it's not the worst thing in the world to do. So, I mean, that's kind of how I relate to this. And I think my biggest takeaway with cannabis, with any substance you do, whether it's, alcohol, cigarettes, caffeine, the biggest takeaway is knowing the intention of why you're doing it. That's the most important thing. Like I said, my intention a long time ago was suppressing thoughts, emotions, just feeling good, escapism, as taking myself out of focus of life and just enjoying the moment. So you have to know why you do a thing, why you do the substance you do, why you do the drug that you do. Like for me, coffee. I drink it and I work on my book that I'm writing. I drink it and I go to my laptop. I pair coffee with work because I like the productivity that comes with drinking coffee. Sometimes I'll drink a pre-workout or something like that and I'll work out. So I use it for an intended usage. When people drink alcohol, they drink it in a social setting to, make them easier, more courage to talk to people. I get that as well. We have to watch out when people do drugs and just maybe people drink too much and they say, I just want to black out. I just want to forget the night. See, that's not a good intention of doing alcohol, for example. People like to drink caffeine, but if they drink caffeine in harmful products like energy drinks all the time, then you have to watch out the way you do a certain substance. It can have negative effects. So you have to be very intentional with why you do things. Even like cigarettes, it's got way more cons than it does pros. The only pro is you feel good for a little bit. So people that smoke cigarettes probably just want to feel good. They just want to feel good for a sec, reduce their stress temporarily. But you have to be aware of the cons and the pros, which is something I did in this episode. And it's something I did consciously to come to the realization of why I even do this substance. For me, it turns out it's just a little bit less useful than it is useful. Okay, y'all, we're moving through these. The next one is why I feel as if I'm at war, episode 73. This one was kind of for you guys to just get a glimpse into my mind. I was really very focused at that moment. This was in the midst of the lockdown. In March, I think I dropped this episode March 11th. Yeah, so this was in the midst of the lockdown and I was just so focused on working out, getting my diet right. I was locked in and I wanted to have that mentality of like, I'm at war with my routines, being so strict on myself, training to be an athlete. Like I was just mentally focused, disciplined. So I wanted to give you guys a glimpse of what my mind is like in case that helps any of you guys going forward. If you feel like you're confused or unfocused or, you don't have problems keeping yourself accountable, this episode might, give you a glimpse on how I did that and how you can do that too. So I really hope that episode supports you. And this is a little clip from that one. So enjoy. I'll see you in the next one. These challenges I've been doing for the past few years have brought me that discipline, turning ideas into habits. And then the discipline, I always say the same thing, guys. I've said it on my Instagram story. I'll say this to anybody that I want to help is discipline is so important because even though I want to work out some days I'm pumped. I got energy. I'm looking forward to my workouts. That's all fine and dandy. But it's those days that you don't want to work out. Everything in your mind is like, nah, do it tomorrow. You're fine. This is where the discipline is needed. This is why you have discipline, because on the days you don't want to do something, in this case work out, those days you don't want to are the days you need to. If you're injured or sore or too sore, that's understandable. But if it's just your mind telling you, making excuses, oh, we'll do another day,
This is where all your training on discipline is needed. So you have that one part of your mind that's like, let's work out. But the other part is growing. The part that's like, no, I don't need to today. This small part will win because you're disciplined. That's what training my mind has allowed me to do with my body, is stay disciplined, okay? Some parts of that I'm also doing, some parts of this discipline, my routines, okay? I wake up early, I make my bed, do my push-ups, pull-ups, ab workouts, meditate. I feel like I'm in the army. Like, that's what I feel like. I feel like I'm training. That's why I'm talking about being a warrior. I feel like I was made for this. I feel like I'm thriving by being tough on myself, doing the exact same things I need to do. And, working out in the morning is a huge thing as well, okay? I can't stress movement is so important. I have a chapter in my upcoming book, How to Vibe Out, an ebook about movement. Movement is medicine, okay? We all chase the dopamine highs when we want to feel good. We eat good food, we watch good shows, we laugh, we do drug substances, liquor, alcohol, same thing, cannabis, all that stuff increases our dopamine, right? We feel good. Endorphins are similar in that we feel good, but this is like the runner's high. Endorphins come from working out. So if I work out in the morning, I've set my day. That runner's high is going to last me all day. So I'm chasing endorphins now. I'm not chasing dopamine as much, right? Endorphins are better for you. In my opinion, they do more for you. Science shows they promote productivity, goal setting, and concentration. My life is an example to that. I can attest to that. So yeah, I work out in the morning. I work out once, twice a day, all the time. And honestly, the most joy I feel like I'm going to receive this year, like I'm looking forward to going outside, being on walks, runs, bike rides, playing sports, hiking, being at the beach. Like, I am looking forward to being outside. That's what my heart wants to do so badly. And so I'm just training to be an athlete. I'm telling you guys, abstaining from drugs. Like, I don't want to put anything in my body that's poisonous right now. I'm just trying to make my body as tough as it can be to match my mind.
All right, we are rolling through episode 76, and this was called 1 year of podcasting and one book to celebrate. So this was a year after 365 days after I started this podcast. And wow, what a moment that was, because a year after I dropped the podcast, I dropped a book as well. So it just goes to show how fast life has been moving since I started this podcast, how many people I've been able to connect with, support, and just influence and impact. It's been amazing. And so that episode was, again, a moment to reflect, talk about the book I made and how that book is a reflection of basically the past year leading up to that episode. So enjoy that episode. I hope it gives you a little glimpse on, how far we've come. If you've been in this community for as long as since it started, then you'll really appreciate that episode. So check it out, enjoy the clip, and I'll see you in the next one.
I learned a lot about community, okay? People, right? How to interview people, how to bring people in the community, and how to get them wanting to be on the podcast, how to get good ideas out of them and great conversations. These have been some of the most important things to me, is the connections I've made and kept and appreciated through this podcast. We did a few, celebrations. I forgot to mention in our achievements in the review, but yeah, having people around, waking up every day, I just say in my head, I open my eyes in the morning and I think, let's get to work because I got a community to serve. That feeling is the best feeling in the entire world. Waking up knowing I have a purpose to help people, to serve people, and to impact this community. So when I get messages from you guys like, whoa, like that episode really helped me, or I love seeing your motivation, I love seeing what you do, you're so positive, you're so encouraging, those make my day. They do, and they keep me going. So you have no idea how much you guys mean to me, but that's what I've learned, is the community aspect is so important for, my emotional health, my mental health. It's just so important for anybody, is the value of community, social support. And yeah, I'm blessed. We have almost over 400 followers on Instagram, so we're getting there. I also learned some personality traits, you could say, commitment. Like, I've been very committed to this podcast. As you guys can see, I've never missed anything I said I was going to do, from an episode to a giveaway to a video to a post. Like, I'm consistent. People always tell me that. Text, I see how consistent you are. I appreciate it. And I say, yeah, you know what? I guess I am now, because usually in the past I would say I'm going to do this or do that, and I start it and I don't finish it. I don't even, get to it. But doing this podcast has taught me the importance of, consistency, commitment, and how hard it is, but how rewarding it is. So I really got to say, yes, I've learned that through this podcast, and it's a good feeling.
Okay, y'all, we're moving through pretty quick. We're on the second last Thursday thoughts. This one is called Becoming a Holistic Growth Coach, episode 82. This one dropped May 13th, 2021. And around this time, I was thinking about moving forward. What am I going to do? How can I really, really support people more? Because I started to notice, like, I have all this growth, and I'm so blessed and humbled to say, yes, like, I've experienced growth, especially in a time, the pandemic, where things have been so uncertain. I found a way to grow, to learn, to be moving forward. And not everybody can say that. I understand that. So for me, I can't just say that and just be like, hey guys, I'm doing great. I hope you guys are okay. I really felt like, how can I give back to the community and really, really support people more intensely and have a bigger impact on people? Because every day I just wake up and I want to create an impact in someone's life. So I've been moving towards coaching, learning about it, and slowly getting into it, because it's such a hard industry to thrive in. Like, anyone can go say I'm a coach, but actually doing it is tough. So I am a holistic growth coach now. That episode kind of talks about the importance of coaching. So that's what you're going to hear in this clip. Me stressing the importance of getting a coach. I've had coaches myself, and yeah, it's been so amazing and helped me grow. So enjoy that clip. Hopefully you get a glimpse again into what my mind is like and where I'm headed. Enjoy. See you in the last episode preview. I want to talk about how important coaching, mentoring, how important it is, and how transformative it is. It brings you to your goals so much faster. Here's the example. So you're in a grocery store, right? You need peanut butter, right? You want to buy peanut butter because that's what you need. So you know what your goal is. I need that peanut butter. But if you have never been to this grocery store, let's say you've never been there before, you don't know the aisles, you don't know how you're going to get there, you're going to search up and down every aisle. You're going to be searching. It'll take you, by yourself looking, maybe 10 minutes, right? So that 10 minutes can actually be cut. So you can actually find that peanut butter way faster by if you go up to somebody who works there, who knows where the peanut butter is. They know, they have the experience already. You go up to them, you say, hey, excuse me, where's the peanut butter? And they bring you to it. They explain the different types. They bring you to your goal in 1 minute. So instead of 10 minutes to find it, it took you 1 minute. So let's put that analogy into real life. You have a coach for a specific goal or challenge you want to reach or meet. By yourself, it would take you maybe 5 years to get there. With a coach, same thing as the peanut butter analogy, it took you 1/10 of a time. So with a coach, instead of taking 5 years, it'll take you 6 months. That's 1/10 of the time. Which is all just to say, you break down time exponentially. You get to your goals faster by investing and working with somebody who has been where you're trying to get. They know where you're trying to get because they are already there. So that's what I've experienced. Shout out Jojo, amazing coach. He helped me with my fitness goals. I lost over 20 pounds in 1 month. That should take a person 4 months. And I did it in 1/4 of the time. So you can just see, it's like you would have never thought that could happen. I didn't think that would happen, but I got there in such a fast time because I had support of a coach. I invested in somebody who has got to where I wanted to get. And so I've had experiences with coaches, and I've also given people advice, and I've listened to people, and I think I'm a great listener, and I just care about, especially this community, working with people. So if I can help people get to where I've got to personally, that would make my heart, my soul
filled up. You know what I'm saying? That would make me feel fulfilled. It really would. So that's why I'm doing it. That is why. Because I want to support and serve people in need or just willing to go out and look for that support.
And lastly, episode 86, the audiobook, What's Left and What's Next. So this episode dropped June 17th, 2021, so not even that long ago. And I talked about the audiobook, which I was able to release. Guys, that took me a long time to create. The audiobook felt as hard as making the actual ebook itself, because just recording, editing, fixing parts, getting it all ready and packaged up when everything else was happening in life, that was crazy, y'all. But I got it done. So many people have enjoyed it so far. And so I made that episode just to, share the news, promote it a little bit, and talk about what's going on next with the podcast. So that episode, you'll hear a little bit about the audiobook, the ebook. If you haven't got either yet, please check it out. The link's in the description of this podcast. And yeah, that book is just a culmination of all the knowledge and experiences I've learned from this podcast, guaranteed to help you with your own self-growth journey as well. Okay, it's guaranteed to help you or your money back. No, but seriously, it will help you. And I appreciate anyone who's interested in getting it, anyone who has got the book so far, ebook or audiobook, and there is a discount if you want to get both, like a little bundle option as well. So check it out, enjoy the clip, and I'll see you at the end of this podcast episode, okay?
So yes, you can get the ebook, which came out April 1st. That's still there, $14.99 for the ebook right now. You can also get just the audiobook. So maybe you got the ebook and you haven't got a chance to actually finish it yet or start it yet because you're not the type to actually sit down and read a PDF. I understand. You probably just got the book to support me, so I appreciate you. So maybe you want just the audiobook where you're like, you know what? I think I can actually get through the ideas by listening to it. Then get the audiobook. It's $9.99, so it's even cheaper than the ebook. Or you can get the bundle and get them both together. If you haven't purchased either, that's going to be you're going to have the most savings in that option is what I'm saying. It's $19.99 for both. So you're saving like $6 right there by getting the bundle, and you get the audiobook, you get the ebook. So you can watch the words and listen at the same time if you want, or choose one or the other. The choice is yours in that case. So there are a few options. I just wanted to go over them. Now, once you download, the ebook or the audiobook or both, you get make sure you put your email in. It's the easiest way. Put your email in when you're paying for it. When you're checking out on the website, you'll get an email, and then from the email you can click it, and there's a link to download everything from there. So you can also use your phone number to pay for it, and then they just send you a text with the information. But I think the email is the easiest way for a lot of people. And so yeah, it's really easy to purchase. The link's in the description, and this just helps our community, right? You're supporting our community, but like I said, you're supporting your own growth. So many people are on a journey nowadays, their own journeys. They're trying to learn, they're trying to grow, they're trying to find ways to push through whatever challenges they're going through. And I always believe that mind, body, and soul, the three distinctive parts of what it means to be a human, are the areas to address when it comes to growing and learning. And like I said, everything I've learned and been through has been is in this book right here. I'm not gonna say everything, but a lot of the ideas. There's 28 chapters in total when you get the audiobook. Like I said, almost 4 hours, so it's a good amount of information there, and you'll get through it way quicker with an audiobook. So I hope you enjoy. I hope you consider getting it.
And we're back. We're done the episode. Episode 90 is where we're at now. It's just crazy reflecting on these episodes, on these Thursday thoughts. For me, it's such a great chance to look back and kind of have some closure with these episodes as I look forward to what's next. So it's been a real honor for me to make these episodes for you guys, and for you to watch watch this episode, listen to this episode. And if you are interested in any of those episodes that I talked about, please go listen to them. It's all available. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, link in my bio if you want to just listen to the MP3 version, or on YouTube. So I hope these episodes really help you. I hope you enjoyed this episode, just hearing the highlights. And yeah, we have our next episode, our next best of that we're going to reflect on is going to be Psych Saturday. So be ready for that. It's coming in a few days. And yeah, thank you so much for being here, guys. I appreciate it. And I'll see you soon, okay? This has been Vibing Out with Texony. I'm your host, Texony, aka Mr. World Vibe. And I'm signing out. Peace.